Have you ever found yourself lying awake at night, wondering if a narcissist ever truly regrets the pain they've caused you? Do they ever pause for even a moment to reflect on the heartbreak they left behind, the trust they shattered, the self-worth they drained, the emotional scars they inflicted? Or do they simply move on without a care, never looking back at the damage they've done? It's a question that haunts many people who have suffered at the hands of a narcissist. You might assume they feel nothing, that they brush off the past without a second thought, carrying on as if their actions never had any real consequences. But what if I told you that under certain conditions, a narcissist can experience something they never saw coming, an overwhelming, agonizing sense of regret? It's hard to imagine, isn't it? After all, narcissists thrive on their ability to manipulate, deceive, and control. They act as if they are untouchable, immune to guilt or remorse. But here's the truth. When the right circumstances align, when their illusions crack and reality finally hits them, some narcissists do experience a form of regret, so painful that it shakes them to their core. However, this regret doesn't look the way you might expect. It isn't the deep, heartfelt remorse of a person who has truly changed. Instead, it is a crushing, self-centered sorrow, a realization that they lost something they will never be able to replace. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into this hidden and rarely discussed aspect of narcissistic regret. We'll explore what happens when a narcissist is finally forced to confront the truth of their actions, when they can no longer escape the consequences of their own behavior. If you've ever spent sleepless nights wondering whether they will ever feel the weight of what they did to you, you're not alone. So many people have asked themselves the same question, longing for some kind of justice, some confirmation that the narcissist didn't just walk away completely unaffected. And here's the thing, when the narcissist's illusions begin to crumble, when they find themselves without the admiration, control, or supply they once depended on, something shifts inside them. The pain they once inflicted so easily on others comes crashing down on them in ways they never expected. But does this regret lead to real change? Or is it just another way for them to sink deeper into their own self-pity? Before we get into all of that, take a moment to support this channel by liking this video, subscribing, and sharing it with anyone who might need to hear this message. Your support helps bring valuable insights to those who need them the most. Now, let's begin. For most of their lives, narcissists walk through the world with an unshakable sense of superiority. They truly believe they are untouchable, beyond reproach, and exempt from the moral rules that apply to everyone else. In their minds, they are always right, always justified, and always in control. They manipulate with ease, lie without guilt, betray without hesitation, and discard people as if they were mere objects, easily replaced, easily forgotten. Nothing and no one, in their view, holds lasting value beyond what they can extract in the moment. But what happens when this illusion finally begins to crack? When the carefully constructed world they built starts to crumble? When they are forced, perhaps for the first time, to confront the wreckage they have left behind? Regret, when it comes to a narcissist, is not the same as the deep remorse felt by a person with genuine empathy. It is not the kind of regret that leads to true self-reflection or meaningful change. Instead, it is a selfish and hollow pain that emerges only when they start to lose control. A narcissist does not grieve the harm they caused because they suddenly understand your suffering. Rather, they grieve the loss of their influence, their ability to manipulate, their power to dictate the narrative. They regret only when their tactics stop working, when the people they discarded refuse to come back, and when they find themselves trapped in the loneliness they once dismissed as impossible. The regret they feel isn't really about losing you as a person. It's about losing the role you played in their carefully controlled fantasy world. At first, a narcissist will fight against this feeling with everything they have. They will resist, deny, and deflect. They will convince themselves that they did nothing wrong, that you were to blame, that you deserved everything they put you through. They will rewrite history in their own mind, twisting reality to make themselves the victim. They will find ways to justify even their most heartless actions, clinging desperately to the belief that they were right all along. But despite their efforts, cracks in their illusion begin to form. Maybe they see you thriving without them, stronger, happier, untouched by the damage they once inflicted. Maybe they try to replace you, only to realize that no one else gives them the same depth of love, devotion, or attention. Maybe they begin to notice that the people around them are starting to see through their mask, questioning their behavior, pulling away. Whatever the trigger, at some point, a harsh and unavoidable truth sets in. They destroyed something that can never be replaced. This is the moment where their regret shifts from mere frustration to something far more painful. Unlike a healthy person whose regret leads to growth and self-awareness, a narcissist's regret is rooted in loss of power, loss of admiration, loss of the illusion they worked so hard to maintain. And the pain they feel is not just emotional, it is existential. They begin to see their own patterns, their endless cycles of destruction, their inability to hold on to anything meaningful. They recognize, perhaps for the first time, that the loneliness they now face is of their own making. For someone who once believed they were invincible, this realization is nothing short of devastating. The image they held of themselves as an all-powerful mastermind begins to crumble, and in its place they see something far less impressive. A person who is, at their core, broken, empty, and trapped in a never-ending loop of their own making. And the worst part, they start to understand with undeniable clarity that they are not the victims of bad luck, betrayal, or misfortune. No, the source of their suffering has always been themselves. The regret a narcissist experiences unfolds in several painful and deeply unsettling ways. At first, they may try to brush it off, telling themselves they did nothing wrong, that they made the right choice, or that you were never as important as you seemed. But over time, an undeniable truth begins to settle in. The realization that they pushed away someone who genuinely cared for them, someone who gave them love, patience, and understanding, that they may never experience again, no matter how much they try to convince themselves that they can replace you, that someone new will come along and fill the emptiness inside them. A nagging feeling remains. Deep down, they know they destroyed something real, something that cannot be easily replicated. This awareness becomes even more unbearable when they see you moving forward, thriving in your independence, and completely beyond their control. Then comes the bitterness and emotion that burns inside them like a fire they cannot put out. Narcissists despise feeling weak or powerless, and regret forces them to confront exactly that. Unlike their usual ability to rewrite the past in their favor, regret forces them to see that their actions had real, lasting consequences. They cannot undo the past, no matter how desperately they wish they could. They cannot turn back time and manipulate you into loving them again. The helplessness that comes with knowing they can never regain what they lost eats away at them. They replay moments over and over in their minds, times when they could have chosen kindness, honesty, or loyalty, but instead, they opted for lies, betrayal, and cruelty. In the past, they dismissed these choices without a second thought. But now, the weight of them lingers, making them restless, anxious, and tormented by what they've done. Some narcissists, when overwhelmed by the crushing weight of their regret, will attempt to find a way back into your life. They will reach out with carefully crafted words, pretending they have changed, acting as if they have finally seen the error of their ways. They will say whatever they think will bring you back, hoping to pull you back into their world, so they can regain the control they once had. But what they fail to understand is that time has changed things, not just for them, but for you. You have grown, you have healed, you have gained clarity, wisdom, and strength that they never expected. You see them for who they truly are, and their words, once so powerful and manipulative, now sound empty and meaningless. This is the moment that truly devastates them. The moment when they realize their regret, no matter how deep, will not change the outcome. You have moved on. You no longer need them. Their charm, their apologies, their attempts at rekindling what once was, all fall flat. They are left standing alone, forced to deal with the consequences of their own choices. And for someone who once believed they were always in control, this is the most unbearable fate of all. For a narcissist, facing regret is like standing in front of a mirror that shows them everything they have spent their entire life running from. It forces them to confront the truth they have long denied, the deep emptiness within them, their inability to truly connect with others, and the long list of broken relationships they have left behind. It is a terrifying experience because narcissists build their entire identity around avoiding self-reflection. They thrive on illusions, carefully crafted lies, and the constant reassurance of their own superiority. But regret shatters that illusion, forcing them to see, even if only for a moment, that they are not as powerful as they once believed. Some narcissists, unable to handle this overwhelming realization, will spiral into self-destruction. They may engage in reckless behavior, excessive drinking, impulsive spending, or jumping from one meaningless relationship to another, desperately trying to numb the pain. They will do anything to escape that awful feeling of emptiness, even if it means creating more chaos in their lives. Others will take a different route, choosing to build even stronger illusions to protect themselves from the truth. They will surround themselves with new people who don't yet see through them, seeking constant validation to fill the void inside. They will pretend they are fine, that they are happier without you. But no matter what they do, the regret lingers. It follows them like a shadow, whispering the truth they never wanted to face. They are alone, and it is their own fault. The saddest part of a narcissist's regret is that it rarely leads to real change. While most people learn from their mistakes, take responsibility, and grow, narcissists do the opposite. Instead of accepting their role in their own suffering, they double down on their defenses. They convince themselves that they were the victim, that you were the problem, that life is unfair to them. They search for new people to blame, new distractions to chase, and new ways to bury their guilt under layers of denial. They tell themselves they will do better next time, but deep inside, they know the truth. There is no undoing what has been done. They destroyed something real, something valuable, and no amount of lies can bring it back. So if you have ever wondered whether a narcissist regrets hurting you, the answer is yes, but not in the way you might think. They do not regret it because they loved you or because they suddenly developed a conscience. Their regret does not come from empathy, nor does it lead to meaningful self-improvement. Instead, it comes from the painful realization that they are the architects of their own misery. The very things they once took pride in, their manipulation, their ability to discard people, their lack of accountability, have all led them to this moment of emptiness. And as you move forward, stronger, wiser, and completely free from their control, they are left behind. They are trapped in their own cycle of destruction, forced to live with the consequences of their own actions. While you find peace, they are left chasing illusions that will never satisfy them, drowning in a regret they can never escape. And there you have it, the painful, inescapable regret that haunts a narcissist when they finally come face to face with the reality of everything they did to you. It's not the kind of regret that comes from a place of love, nor is it driven by genuine remorse for the pain they caused. Instead, it is a cold, bitter realization that they destroyed something valuable, something they can never truly replace. It's a dark, unsettling truth, but understanding it can bring a sense of clarity and closure. It serves as a powerful reminder that the suffering they inflicted was never about you. It was always about them, their emptiness, their lack of self-awareness, and their inability to appreciate what they had until it was gone. For those who have endured the torment of a narcissistic relationship, this knowledge can be freeing. It allows you to step back and see the bigger picture, to recognize that their cruelty was not a reflection of your worth, but a symptom of their own dysfunction. Their regret, no matter how intense, does not mean they have changed. It does not mean they are suddenly capable of real love or kindness. It simply means they have run out of people to blame, and they are now forced to sit with the consequences of their actions. But unlike you, they do not have the ability to grow, heal, or find peace. They are trapped in their own cycle, repeating the same patterns, chasing the same illusions, and feeling the weight of their own self-inflicted suffering. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more insights on narcissistic behavior and emotional healing. Your support helps bring these important discussions to those who need them most. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever had a narcissist come back after realizing what they lost? How did you handle it? What lessons did you take away from the experience? Let's open up a conversation and share our insights, because your voice matters. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay strong, stay aware, and most importantly, stay true to yourself.